Hi, I'm Chuck Chvala, former Senate Majority Leader.
And I'm Scott Jensen, former Assembly Speaker.
We're the insiders. So, Scott, the conventions are over. How do you think everybody comes out? Republican advantage, Democratic advantage? Where do you think we're at?
Well, of course, this election is going to be all about Wisconsin. So I watched the conventions with a focus on what does it mean to people here in Wisconsin. I thought the Republicans did a really good job of highlighting a lot of everyday people, less celebrities and politicians than the Democrats had, and a lot of Wisconsin references, a lot of regular Wisconsin people talking during the course of the convention. There were times I thought they were literally going to say, "We're talking to you, Wisconsin." So they did everything they could, I think, to try to get their message through here to the people of Wisconsin. I thought the president did a really good job of reframing the debate because we're coming out of the Democratic convention. I thought Biden had accomplished his goals of showing that he cared and that he would be a steady hand as president. So President Trump had to reframe that debate. And I thought he did a really good job of doing that. He painted a pretty stark choice that the voters have this year. And I think he actually did a good job of reconnecting with the coalition that he built in 2016, which not only carried the nation, but carried Wisconsin. He was talking to people. They were showing how he had listened to people and helped them. And then at the end, I know you don't like the rhetoric, but I think he did a good job of trying to get suburbanites to focus on what the stakes were in this election.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Here you have the biggest issue in the entire country is COVID and the president's failure to respond and even to recognize the problem. And then he shows up with 1,500 people on the last night, hardly anybody with a mask on. I think that the setting and the way they did this spoke volumes more than the words that they attached to it. I think that the COVID thing is such a dominant force in the country. The president may have actually hurt himself, having 1,500 people there, and people go, oh my gosh. Secondly, he does something that no other president has done, to take the White House and turn it into a political event to help him. I think, again, that shows exactly what Donald Trump is about. Whatever helps me is fine. I don't care that this is not supposed to happen. And then finally, to say that the country will not be safe under Joe Biden, when really what he's saying to them is, you're not safe now, and it's really only going to get worse under Biden. How does that work as a strategy? Those Democratic cities that he refers to, they will still be Democratic cities after the convention. Now, that's not to say that that will be the takeaway of people. I think the president, as Scott said, did do a good job of framing, and they tried to humanize the guy. Hard though it was to do, they put him in settings with people, he still couldn't hug anybody. He still couldn't really emote and actually show a connection with them. But I agree with Scott. They did a marvelous job of orienting their convention to try to address Wisconsin specifically, and also to try to humanize Donald Trump. I think they may have succeeded in the first part of doing the Wisconsin connection. I don't think they humanized Donald Trump.
I disagree with you about the setting. I realize that it violated convention, that people haven't historically done this sort of thing. But I think he wrapped himself in the presidency. He wrapped himself in the history of that office and in the flag. I thought the visuals were stunning compared to, Joe Biden in a convention center by himself. I thought it went much better. He got looser during the course of his remarks because he was responding to the audience. And a speech where you're responding to an audience is very different than a speech just delivered to a camera. So I thought it was effective for the president, and he was able to make quite a bit of progress in reestablishing his connections. But now we're on to the races, right? Now we're on to the debates, and we're going to hear more about Wisconsin, I bet, in those debates.
I think it goes back to what Scott actually started and is true, and we both know this, and all the people are really on the inside. And that is, if you look at the facts here, this was an awful experience, reinforcing that this was all about Donald Trump, and he'll do anything, even putting his closest people together and putting them at risk with 1,500 of them. He'll violate the normal use of the White House. But at the end of the day, do those factual issues matter? Or does it matter simply that they were able to draw a picture that people will relate to and find emotional connection with? Because it is about emotion. I think the American people are not quite this able to be gullible and accept what the president did, but we will find out. Oh, by the way, the takeaway will be Well, the Republicans got to bounce because I think they will see a bounce, but it's not because of the convention. It's because of some violence going on around the country. And I think that the Republicans have done a good job of trying to pin the tail on the donkey with the Democrats. Shouldn't be, but I think that that will happen in the next couple of weeks.
There's a lot to watch and a lot ahead.
See you next time.